nice.
Hey YouTubers, Gurame Dragon here, and once again we are looking into our month of Transformers the movie 1986. And this time we're taking a look at the best of the Challenge of Cybertron 3-pack from Hasbro Asia, my personal favorite of the three, Cyclonus. Yeah, this is my favorite of the 3-pack. I just think he turned out the best, and I'm going to show you why in a moment. Now, Cyclonus' vehicle mode is a space jet, which is really cool looking. I really like this design, and while it's not perfect, I think this is really a great jet transformation. And as you can see, he does have the flip-out landing gear for both the front and the back, which is cool. And all in all, everything is very cohesive as far as paint goes. And unfortunately, there is some gappage in the back, and that's an unfortunate sacrifice. I think that was made for the robot mode, which we will get into later, but aside from that, it is still a real nice, real cohesive jet. Which is pretty much why I was so hard on the Generations Combiner Wars Cyclonus. This one does so much right that I didn't really feel like we needed it. But that's just that. Let's bring in a comparison for the two. And, you know, just to be fair, I'm going to actually admit that the jet mode for Generation Cyclonus is a lot more solid than the Universe 2.0 one. But at the same time, Universe 2.0 mold doesn't have an entire robot hanging off the bottom. Maybe a piece or two, but not an entire robot. Same can't be said for Generation Cyclonus, who had the unfortunate misfortune of being a Silverbolt repaint. But, yeah. As far as overall jet cohesiveness, I still give the edge slightly to Generations. With all respect on that. Still, I really do like this. It's just a personal aesthetic. For the next comparison, let's bring in the Retail Universe 2.0 Cyclonus, who probably loved when everybody got him, but now that we got this particular version, yeah, he's got some problems in his paint job. And it's not the really dark purple. That I can live with. I think that looks cool. It's just all that gray that really kills it. I mean, so much drab gray that is breaking up all the cohesive purple. Kind of messes them up pretty bad. So I do prefer this nice cohesive purple on him, so it works out pretty well. You may have noticed I put a repro label for a Decepticon symbol on the nose, but that's a repro label. It's not naturally on there, so. But I want to point that out just in case someone gets a hold of him and is wondering what's going on with that. Still, it is a nice jet mode, and let's get a look at his accessory because he does have one. I'm putting Cyclonus back because I'll do a comparison for it too. And that accessory is none other than Nightstick, Cyclonus' gun. And as you can see, the Challange and Cybertron version has a nice amount of silver paint on that weapon, which is really cool looking. While the regular Universe 2.0 is all unpainted. But it has that nice cool purple to it, a little bit of black, and unfortunately some of that gray. Some of the darker gray to it. Now, the thing about Nightstick, he can transform, because he's a target master. And he transformed into this nice little black and silver robot. Looks really cool. Ignore the Decepticon symbol on him because that is a repro label. Not actually included on him, but he does have this really cool head sculpt about him. Nicely painted face and eyes. Looks great. Doing a quick comparison with the retail Nightstick. So, and it focuses on these guys. Get them out of the way. As you can see, the heads are actually painted the exact same way. It's just the plastic colors are a little different. And he has some silver paint on his legs and on the gun barrel. So yeah. But it is nice that Nightstick came with Cyclonus. Now for the last comparison on this one, let's bring in the other two characters for the set. We got Hot Rod here. And Galvatron. As you can see, they look pretty good together. Now, as I mentioned before, Galvatron's my least favorite. Hot Rod's, or Rodimus, is my middle favorite, and Cyclonus is the favorite of the set. So, yeah, I mean, now you see all three of them together. They look pretty good together. Even in vehicle mode, they look pretty good. Although Galvatron should be much bigger. He really should be a Voyager size because I think that would have worked so much better for him. Anyway, I think it's time we got Cyclonus into robot mode and see how he looks there. Now that we have Cyclonus in his robot mode, wow. This never ceases to amaze me. I mean, he is got such a clean robot mode, it's amazing. You can take a look. Practically no kibble. Just these little wings that fit right on the backs of the shoulder and don't get in the way of anything. I mean, he looks great. I mean, this is how a Transformer should look. It set a standard that was only recently beat by the Prime Viacon, which is quite impressive. Like it had one of the cleanest transformations until the Prime Viacon came out. And this one still might be a little bit cleaner than that one. But in any case, he also has a bit of a trick with his shins where they actually, for transformation, where they split apart and come together on the above to make the thrusters. A trick that was improved and used for Combiner Wars nowadays, so he was a pioneer too, which is awesome. But enough of that. Let's get a look at that head sculpt. First thing I gotta say, he light pipes like a champ. I mean, all the light is in front of him, but those eyes are still shining pretty bright. See, as I put my finger on them, they go dead. Put them away. That nice bright red, which is great. I like that. The silver paint really does help bring out the definition in the face, which is also pretty good. And all in all, his body is well done. Now for articulation, left and right swivel at the head, forward backward at the shoulder, in and out at the shoulder, 90-degree bend, rotation at right below the elbow, so he's got a bit of a wrist swivel, but no bicep swivels. Nothing at the waist, just due to the way he transforms. Got forward, backward at the hips, on the ball joint, thigh swivel, almost 90-degree knee bend, and a little bit of toe movement. So yeah, he is fairly posable, not perfectly, but he is still really good, still my favorite of the set. And I really think he turned out perfect, like really good. Now let's get Nightstick here. We'll get him into gun mode. Real quick, and you got two ways you can actually put him on. You can do it the classic way where he's holding him like a gun. Fits right in that peg hole. And will fit any 5mm peg, so you can use him with other figures as well. You also have the option where you can flip the arm in. There's a little peg at the back of the gun. You can plug that into his arm and actually have his arm become the cannon, which is pretty cool. Better yet, if you do happen to have another Cyclonus with a Nightstick, you can just as easily pop him on for some dual wielding action, which is pretty cool. So he can be very well armed if you want him to be. And while I would have liked both arms to have the 5mm peg holes, oops, I am glad at least there is an option to get these going like this. So yeah, pretty sweet. So we'll get this one out of the way and get his arm back, because there is a couple comparisons to make. First one being with the Universe 2.0 retail Cyclonus, who is much darker, has more gray to him. And this is a lot darker. So it doesn't really fit Cyclonus as well as it should. So as far as paint jobs are concerned, yeah, Universe 2, like the Challange at Cybertron Cyclonus is much better than Universe 2.0. This is the better paint job, without a shadow of a doubt. And I still like this one. I use him for the Armada character, or you know, the one that's always referred to as "and his Armada." Kind of think Evangelist started that one with a Chinese bootleg, like a Chinese stolen Chinese toy version of it. But yeah, I mean, still pretty good, still worth having on the classic shelf. I just think this is the definitive look for Cyclonus. And I don't think it's going to get much better than that anytime soon. But the next comparison we're going to bring in, as soon as I can get his foot out. Here, Generations Combiner War Cyclonus. Now, as you can see, they all use different shades of purple. Like, there's no two here that have the same shade of purple on them, which is crazy. You got this really dark, almost black purple, this darker, but a lot more closer to right purple, and then this really nice looking, very show accurate purple. So yeah, it's crazy how they mesh. I said I liked this one better than this one in his review. I stand by that. I still think this is the best Cyclonus that Hasbro has ever made, and he probably will be for a long time to come. He is definitely my favorite of the set, and I would strongly recommend him. You can get him either through the Challange Cybertron 3-pack set, or get the Battle in Space 2-pack with Rodimus, which the only difference is that this Decepticon symbol is replaced by a thermal rub sign. But I would recommend getting him whenever possible. So that should wrap it up for Cyclonus here. Really good figure, highly recommendable. Best of the Challange at Cybertron set, and obviously that would make him the best of the Battle in Space set. But yeah, I highly recommend getting this guy. Check eBay for him, probably your best bet. You could probably check out Amazon. If you can get the whole set, go for the Battle in Space set. It's probably going to be a bit better, just because you don't have to worry about having that Galvatron. Now, if you, for some reason, want the Galvatron, you can get the Challange and Cybertron set and get the whole trio. But at this point, I'd say eBay is your best bet for all three of them. But all in all, I do hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think, since this is a new style for me to try to do. And yeah, next week we'll be looking at some more Reveal the Shield Generations figures. I believe we're going to be doing Perceptor on Monday. At least that's what I'm thinking at this point. But we'll know for certain on Monday. So anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Take care, so long, have fun, and bye-bye.